Hey everyone, welcome to More Than Meets These Guys. This podcast is a journey through the history of Transformers from the beginning of the animated series. Normally, today we're going to do a little something different. Ed has some personal business, so he is out this week. So I'm hanging out with another old friend of mine who knows a whole lot more about Transformers than even I do. So I'm going to welcome here Boo from the Ixon Underground.
Hello.
All right, you've been on the episode with Zabgoth before. He was you guys did the wrap up for season one. I mean, kind of wrap up for season one and a lot of meandering. So yeah,
tangents.
Yeah, as we actually do typically when we all talk, anyways. So I wanted to take this week since you're such an old Transformers fan, also, and kind of do a reaction to like everyone else is doing on the internet, a reaction to the trailer for Rise of the Beast, the new trailer, the second one that just dropped.
Stop! Stop! You want it? Come and get it!
For centuries, our kind has stayed hidden on Earth. But darkness has found us again. Prime. This is about the fate of all living things. Unicron is coming.
It won't stop!
Back up!
Oh, I thought we were boys.
You want it? Come and get it!
You brought a human here?
I'm nobody. I ain't even seen nothing. I'm not even seeing anything right now.
Think you holding late when you haven't met the aim? Stop! Stop!
This is not our war.
Optimus, we must trust each other to protect the home we all share.
How big can this guy be?
He eats planets. So, like, way bigger than a planet.
In the end, everything you cared for will be consumed.
Maybe there's another way to save our home.
You've never faced anything like this. Let them come.
Yo, Noah, take the wheel.
And I don't know what it is. It's been true of every single Transformers movie since the beginning of the Michael Bay movies coming out. These trailers always get me hyped up. It doesn't matter how good or bad the movie ends up being, the trailers get me. It's like subliminal messaging or something.
They work really well at what they do.
like these people are marketing or something, right? So this is actually kind of neat. I know you know a lot about different origins of, let's say, harbingers of Unicron.
Yeah.
Unicron, for people, I don't know if you are aware of that who listen to the show. Some people are newer fans, some are older fans. Unicron's essentially the chaos god of Transformers. Now, different.
Plug your ears, Ed.
There's been different incarnations of Unicron in different shows. I mean, you have in the original 1986 movie, and through the comics, he's a little bit different in the comics, but essentially he's the same kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have shows like Armada, Energon, and Cybertron, which is like considered the Unicron trilogy, which not my favorite shows, but they had an interesting way of going about the Unicron, and that Transformers Prime had a different take on Unicron, and even I don't know, it's hard to say with Beast Wars. Beast Wars, they obviously know of Unicron, and Unicron is definitely some big bad. I mean, for people who don't know a lot that well, he's essentially Galactus as a Transformer.
Right.
He's Galactus, yeah.
That's the easiest description for Unicron.
he travels around. He's a and he has the ability to recreate life. He takes you take whatever, reform and remake it. He can't actually create, from what I understand. He can't create life, but he can reform it. I guess in a way it would be kind of considering I guess you could call it he what's a good word for that, where he takes in
It's like with Sauron, he can't make, but he mocks.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have that. I mean, that's exactly where this trilogy movie is going to go. It's going to be the essentially a Unicron trilogy, which I'm all down for. I don't think anyone even had any proof that this was going to happen before the trailer. I mean, there was some. We all kind of had our own ideas how it's going to be, but until you saw them in the trailer, no one knew a thing, which is great, man. There are not enough movies could keep you in the dark that well going up to it, and I don't know. I'm going to kind of refer to you here on this. I I was worried this was going to be in the Michael Bay, Bay universe, but it's not. And I'm assuming it's not really even in the. I think it's supposed to be in the movie Bumblebee universe, but it seems like it's still a little separated. That of course took place in the 80s. This takes place in 1994. So
Yeah, it seems like it's almost a colliding of universes is what they're hinting towards. Because one thing that really caught me, like in the beginning of the trailer, is Optimus Primal, voiced by Ron Perlman, says, "For centuries our kind stayed hidden on Earth, but darkness has found us again." So they've already encountered Unicron and are running from him or hiding from him.
yeah, and honestly, the beginning of the trailer, well, I guess probably like 3 or 4 seconds into the trailer, he says this, and you have a shot of a Unicron going after a world that has a ring around it, so you know it's not Earth. But it's his massive size is even disrupting the rings around the planet, so all the dust is flying up, and obviously it's going to create some sort of magnetic field disturbance, gravity disturbance on the planet. So it's probably going all in kinds of chaos. So we're either, I mean, I'm kind of speculating this is the planet. It was a memory. This is like the planet the Maximals came from, or maybe this is the planet our antagonist Scourge came from. So I mean, that said, there's a lot of there's a lot of possibilities here, and I'm sorry, even War for Cybertron that was on Netflix dealt a lot with Unicron, and that's where you had Galvatron come into the world. Galvatron in that show was a mirror universe or an alternate universe timeline of what Megatron would become. And Ed, plug yours again. We all know as Transformers fans, and the Galvatron comes. He is formed from Megatron in the 1986 movie, and he's a future version of Megatron in the comics. There's the whole Time Wars fiasco in the UK comics. So there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of different things they can borrow from for this. What were your takes from the introduction of Unicron in this?
Well, I've heard some interesting talk that some people think that planet may have been like the Maximals planet, and it was like their version of the Jungle Planet, like from the Unicron trilogy from Cybertron. Yeah, so that would be interesting. But yeah, they've done this heralds crossing over from another universe before, like they did it in the Marvel comics with Galvatron 2 in issue 67, where he pulled Galvatron from another universe to be his herald. And so I think we may be borrowing some of that, and then like you said, in the War for Cybertron trilogy, was it Earthrising Kingdom? It made reference to Galvatron, like he kept popping up from the other universe until Unicron caught him and pulled him back.
Well, actually, in that also, Nemesis in that was essentially a herald of Unicron,
an evil Optimus Prime.
Yeah, which is a big theory for Scourge in this. Which Scourge is the evil Optimus Prime, from originally from what was that?
Robots in Disguise. Yeah, and Car Robots. Yeah.
Yeah, this Japanese name, Robots in Disguise here.
The 2001 version.
Yeah, he was a repainted laser rod Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
G2.
So that's where you first get that black and teal and gray color
looks
scheme.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great color scheme for like an evil Optimus Prime. So you
Yeah.
have that going on. So there's all kinds of possibilities they can have with this.
Right.
So we also, there's great scenes. Like there's a scene of you can see the teeth in the I guess almost like it's moving two ways, like saw blades of teeth, and like the opening mouth of Unicron hitting this planet during what my plan here is, and hopefully it works out as well as I think it will. I'm going to upload images to edit with the episode, so cross fingers everyone that I can do it. Anyways, yeah, so you have all these images, and I kind of think these are going to be like memories that Primal's telling Prime about this, because
Yeah, exposition.
yeah, Optimus Prime in this does not want to get involved. He's like, this is not my war, which is not something you expect out of Optimus Prime. He's not the original Boy Scout Optimus Prime from the show. He's tired of fighting. He's got enough stuff going on.
I get a feeling that this is the follow-up to Bumblebee with that, the way they were so defeated after that initial scene in Bumblebee, and they were just basically fleeing Cybertron.
Yeah, they're trying to hide out. And that's another thing with this. It separates from the Michael Bay trilogy. God, quintuply. I don't know. 5 movies that he put out. It's that Prime doesn't want anyone to see him. He's sneaking around a parking lot when we first see him. He's slowly, quietly transforming. And he goes into this garage, and which Mirage, who's voiced by Pete Davidson, he shows up, dumps out what's his face? Noah. Dumps him out, and then transforms, hooping and hollering. And he's like, Noah's like, what do you, man, don't get away from me. He's like, man, I thought we were boys. That's a completely different take of Mirage. It kind of feels like a Mirage and Blaster kind of combo, which is whatever. So
I'm getting kind of a Trax and Raoul.
It kind of does feel like a Trax and Raoul
comedy with them.
It's a good call, actually.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Prime's pissed that he brought a human to the meeting because he doesn't want anyone knowing that they're there. I mean, even though there's gonna be a giant planet eater coming their way, but don't let anyone know we're here.
Right.
So yeah, way different from Michael Bay's Optimus Prime, who was very out there. He wasn't planning on it, but once he got out there, everyone knew about him. He was pretty much out there, and to the point where they were hunted for starting the 4th movie.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, we also see some interesting things with what we were talking about, possibly like a beacon. There was a human working on this yellow crystal rock thing. You see a point. It's almost like a piece of jewelry or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked like it was a mineral, like a chunk of a yellow mineral or something.
And then, hey, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, and then had that big energy blast, and then you see Optimus looking at the beacon.
Yeah, they goes up into the sky. So almost like it's kind of the same thing you see from Beast Wars, kind of thing with other voices, where the beacon shoots back through space, and let's go there. Which
good callback.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of, because I almost wonder if that's where the heralds come from. Like, it basically shoots out a shot into the space. He's sending Silver Surfer, his herald, which is Scourge. The battle trap.
Yeah, a battle trap. Yeah,
I keep calling him Scrapbook. Battle Trap and Nightbird.
Yeah,
on the planet, as as every Transformer in this universe seems to show up to the planet as a meteorite. So they show up, and you see them walking out of the water. Really cool scene, and I kind of wonder how this event's going to run. They are going to basically show up and say, behold, we're the heralds of Unicron, the planet eater or devourer worlds or whatever.
Right.
Could be a lot of things like that.
Well, similar to what Galvatron did in the Marvel comics, where he shows up and he's just like terrorizing everyone and just calling out that Unicron is coming. He's going to destroy you all. Yeah.
And depending on what Galvatron you look at, even the IDW comics, Galvatron, Scourge, and Cyclonus were like from a dark universe, this like dead universe.
Yeah, the dead universe,
which they used in War for Cybertron. Galvatron, that was from the dead universe, and that's where Unicron in this in their continuity exists. But basically, everyone's raising a big flag and pointing lights at the sky and stuff, like could be the beacon, and directing Unicron. Because if you look at it this way, Unicron as a chaos god or whatever he is, it kind of supersedes what we think of as a Transformer. Like, he exists in different realities. So that could be a lot of that going on too. You see, like you sent me a screenshot, and I've seen it also elsewhere, where there's this big platform, and these two big yellow eyes open up, which same color as the mineral. So that's what I'm, we're kind of connecting that to Unicron. That there's Scourge. You see the tiny silhouette of Scourge, and it could be that he's just being made, or he's been told to go to Earth, or maybe he's being his attitude's being readjusted or something, as Galvatron would do. Galvatron would try to rebel, and Unicron would be like, "No, you're not."
Oh yeah, he'd spank him.
Speaking pretty hard. So you have all these things going on, and there's a lot of big battle images like it's any trailer. But what's kind of lost in there, you showed me the screenshot, which once again I'm gonna try to have up on the screen here during the editing, where they're going to these what was that, Peruvian ruins, which you'll see one point during the trailer, they're flying through the mountains of Peru, and even in the first trailer you see this big street festival going on in Peru. But there's a whole scene where they find these ruins, Incan ruins or something.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
the stone tablet on top of it has Unicron on the middle of it. Like this is like something's going to happen. This is already foretold. It was going to happen eventually, and that could be what the Maximals are. They're kind of being heralds of this whole thing. We don't what's going
right
yet.
Well, and they had some graphics out before, like as teasers, and it showed like Incan carvings with like pictures of the different Maximals in it. So I wonder if that's all related, or if that's even in the movie at all.
Well, that could be in the movie also.
Yeah, it could just be promotional. It's hard to say right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, I really liked about. I'm going to harken back to Beast Wars for a second. So people who are G1 only, I'm sorry, but this is kind of a reference point. In Beast Wars, the kind of neat thing about it was you see proto-humans seeing flying dinosaurs and all kinds of stuff, and you think like that could have been a origin point for a lot of legends, myths, folktales that are passed down word of mouth before they're written down. So once again, you have the Maximals here, and there you have their stone carvings. Perhaps the Incans treated them some sort of like jungle gods, because there was a lot of them, and they're huge. Obviously, Primal's not the size of a regular silverback ape or silverback gorilla. Cheetor is definitely not the size of a regular cheetah. They're all huge. They're almost like I don't know, avatars of the different animals.
Yeah.
So that's a big possibility as well.
Like they're the Paragon version of those animals.
Yeah. If you ever seen any Miyazaki movies, how like I want to say Princess Mononoke, the gods of the animals, they're larger versions. It could be something along those lines, how they treated them. So
there's a season 1 reference to that too. I think they're kind of taking a little from Fire on the Mountain with the Incan ruins and the big beacon from the crystal.
Oh, good point. That's actually a great callback there. The where the
green crystal.
It's always come back to green crystals. Except that maybe they're yellow this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that could be a big callback. Maybe there was something on top of a monument in the Incan village that apparently no one has any money, but the girl's sister has brother has a convertible.
Right.
So
the richest girl in town.
Yeah, pretty much. She's the princess, man. There are a lot of neat images. I mean, you see like of course Primal's swing through the jungle, but later on you see him swing on some huge structure. I assumed would have been something having to do with the Unicron, but maybe not, because he's supposed to, this whole movie trilogy is supposed to be about him. So maybe it's like once again a herald of him coming, and he's ripping up scorpions. Looks like we think Scorponok from Beast Wars.
And those things are huge. I mean, look how big the Maximals are. They're bigger than cars, and those scorpions are bigger than they are.
It's definitely not the same Scorponok from the Bay movies. So I'm hoping we see more than just scorpions, but we'll see how that goes. I wonder. We were talking earlier. I kind of wonder if they're going to do anything with the Predacons being like the shock troopers. You have like maybe spiders. Who knows what else?
Right. Yeah, because some of them look kind of insectoid in the big battle scene in the trailer.
Yeah, like you were saying, we were trying to take screenshots for me earlier. There were a lot of blur effects. I mean, it was hard to really get clear pictures of some of these things because it moves so fast. And like you said, our brains fill in those gaps during those blur effects.
Right.
And, so what we think we see, our brains are kind of putting that together to fill in the blanks. So they're giving a lot of things that are actually there that are just moving so fast, or they're not actually, being shown as solid. It's a whole blur effect then going on. And you think about how big Rhinox is in that scene also during the whole fight. Arcee's
yeah, he's
riding
huge.
him. she's I guess a medium-sized transformer, and she's riding on his back shooting. So
They've definitely done away with that sight gag that the Maximals and Predacons were downsized. That's like out the window, which it has been for a while.
yeah, I mean, I like that idea, but also you get into the Cybertron trilogy where the or even with the Beast Wars second anime that came out in Japan.
Right.
All the animals were same size. You had like it was a Starscream BB. It was a huge stealth bomber and a jet, and they weren't tiny compared to them. So
right, and then Armada did that too.
Yeah.
And they were heralds of Unicron.
That's right. So yeah, all of that. I mean, so we might as well put away the idea that the Maximals are going to be small. They're going to be the size of a cheetah or the size of a gorilla, or everything like that.
Yeah, it's been left in the 90s.
Speaking of not being left in the 90s, or no, actually, this would be 2000s. You caught the and I've seen this elsewhere too, but you got a nice screenshot of it, which once again I'll try to put up there. Noah wearing like an exosuit. He's kind of like Kicker from was it Energon?
Yeah, Energon. Yeah.
So there's a scene he's grabbing on the back of Bumblebee. Bumblebee's doing the spin dance transformation thing. And I was kind of wondering what happened when Mirage like tosses it. He says, "Here, you take the wheel," and throws him a something, and he catches it and starts forming on his hand. So I guess that's going to be like an exosuit for him. Which, thank God, the Transformers are actually trying to protect the people, because I guess they didn't learn from Spike, Daniel, or Sparkplug, or Sam Witwicky in the Bay movies. They were just like always in harm's way. This time it's like, no, we're going to give you an exosuit so you don't die in 5 minutes.
And he kind of disappears when Bumblebee transforms. I was watching that like frame by frame, and I know it's blurry, so it just might be in a blur behind Bumblebee, but it looks like he disappears when Bumblebee transforms. So I wonder if they merge somehow. Like maybe they're doing like a Headmaster or Power Master type.
That'd be kind of neat. I didn't think about that. And considering you see one scene during the trailer where Scourge is saying that everything you love will be consumed, and that scene he's shoving a blade through Bumblebee.
Right. So I wonder if there's a connection there somehow.
I mean, possibly, but I kind of thought it was going to be like a Mirage and Noah show, but maybe not.
Oh, and something from that same scene where he's telling him, everything you care about will be consumed.
Yeah.
It shows a shot of Noah's family, and you see what appears to be his mother.
Mm-hmm.
That was Luna Lauren Velez, who played La Guerta on Dexter.
Oh, that is, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that at all. I mean, it's such a quick scene. I guess it didn't occur to me.
Yeah. Well, she looked familiar. And of course, her hair is completely different. She's got mom hair. But yeah, I looked it up, and that's who it is. But they haven't credited who she is yet, like her character name. So
yeah. So once again, where it's go back to Galactus. He's just Unicron is he's kind of treated as like a god of destruction, or god of devouring stuff. I don't know how you want to look at it, but he's definitely put on that pedestal of being a god. He's like, as Mirage says in the trailer, he's like, how big is this guy? Well, he's planet, so bigger than that.
Yeah, but bigger than a planet.
So, which is a nice thing with that, because Ed, plug the ears again. The 1986 movie opens with these Arbalists on the planet,
the Lithones,
Lithos, looking up, and they know what Unicron is. Like, it's like they're the anti creation showing up, and they're like, well, this is our day, this is where we all die. So yeah, people in the universe know of Unicron, so of course the Maximals are going to know about Unicron. And I'd be kind of surprised that Optimus Prime and the others don't know who Unicron is. So they might know it, but maybe it's like too overwhelming, too much of a big thing to grasp.
Or it's lost information from the war, or something they just consider was a myth.
Yeah, because you think about it, no one really expects the Antichrist to come back in our world except for religious zealots.
Yeah.
We just we get up every day. We're not like, well, here this day that the chaos bringers are gonna come and consume us all. Go to work now.
Yeah.
It's an existential thing.
Really, that little kid from the movie, Damien? What?
This kid across the street in the swing staring at you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did this for you, Damien. I love you. It's all for you. There's the idea that we can think about like the destruction or the anti-life, but not actually be able to grasp the gravity of it. And I don't know, it kind of feels like that with this. So
yeah, I think that's the big difference between Unicron and Galactus. Galactus is amoral. He's not good or evil, really. He's just doing what he does. He has to eat, and you just happen to be on his sandwich.
Yeah.
Whereas Unicron seems like he's actively evil. Like he seeks out living planets to kill them. Like they taste better.
It tastes better when there's fear.
Right? You gotta have toppings on your pizza.
We are the pineapple to his pizza.
Right.
That's
what the yellow crystal is. That's the pineapple topping.
Exactly. So I mean, really, it all kind of connects to the idea that there's something that's been going on that's been foretold on the planet, but no one really, it's one of those things that it might just be such an existential crisis they don't really get it. But obviously, as the movie progresses, things start happening, and they're having to accept that what's going on. Even to the point where you were noticing how those globes, that there's a scene where Bumblebee jumps from the back of Stratosphere, one of the other Autobots in the movie who flies, and he pulls out, he basically has double guns on his fist. He does like a spin as he's falling and shoots these orbs. The orbs have the same coloration as the Scorpions.
Right, the little red eyes, like the little red lights are on them, matches the eyes of the creatures.
So obviously, as the movie goes on, they're realizing something's bad's happened. They got to stop it. And I kind of wonder how those the Scorpions and all that kind of play into this. Just like we have our Chaos Heralds, and this Chaos Heralds being Scourge, Battletrap, and Nightbird, where generally speaking we're looking at like Galvatron, Scourge, and Cyclonus. So different names, same kind of thing. Heralds. I mean, for your Marvel fans, they are the Silver Surfer and whatever Heralds of Galactus. But there's been a lot of theories about Scourge, and I kind of like the idea that perhaps he's like Michael Bay's Optimus Prime, because those movies were kind of heading that direction. So that's one of the speculations.
Right. I mean, it can't be a coincidence that the last night ended with the threat of Unicron, and this one is like picking back up that threat, but in a different way. It's not inside of Earth. It's coming from space, maybe. Because it's entirely possible that all that they showed with Unicron consuming that planet, that was before he became the core of Earth, like it showed in last night. If these are connected, that that was that's the exposition from the distant past. Like it could have happened billions of years ago,
and that's why there's the Maxwells are here trying to stop it or keep him in hibernation.
Right. And it would be ironic if they were hiding out on the very planet that Unicron is inside of.
Yeah. And they did this also with Transformers Prime, the show that he was Unicron was essentially, he was dormant as the planet Earth. And that's why there was like dark energon and everything everywhere. We were talking earlier like about this, maybe these yellow crystals are like dark energon. It's kind of like a tainted form of energon that it's kind of his lifeblood. So that could be that too.
And well, that was originally alluded to. They were heading that way in Dreamwave in their comics before they, that whole thing got the axe and fell apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were leading towards that Unicron was inside of the Earth, and it was just never developed because, that whole licensing deal fell through.
Oh, licensing. Yep. So yeah, there could be a lot of things going on with that. You also pointed out a few things that, maybe if we're going in that direction, that maybe Scourge, Battletrap, and Nightbird are perhaps I don't know, the word tainted isn't quite right, but they're basically they're changed by Unicron.
Yeah, twisted.
Twisted, yeah, we'll say. So yeah, there's you pointed out how Nightbird has, wheels on her feet just like RC. Wouldn't it be kind
Right.
of cool if, like, she was about Nightbird was a alternate reality version of RC that was reformed as Nightbird. And I mean, Battletrap, there's no telling. I said it could be Ironhide for all we know, but it could
Right.
be nothing like that. So we're just speculating. We're being like every other fan out there right now.
There's some people have noticed design similarities between Nightbird and Air Razor as well, her robot mode, like on the toys.
Okay.
That there's some motifs that carry over between the two, so they wonder if maybe Nightbird is made from Air Razor,
Oh, I can see. Well,
or maybe Air Razor is Nightbird. Ooh, what a twist!
what a twist. The well, if you look at the face of Air Razor and face of Nightbird, I mean, they're stylistically different, but they're essentially the same. Like that, like kind of mask over the face.
Yeah,
So,
there's stuff on the chest that they
oh,
noticed.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
I could see that, but we don't really know. It could just be that this is just coincidental. But it'd be kind of nice having that whole thing where Michael Bay's universe died. Unicron woke up, came, and they were all done. So we don't have to see Sam Witwick anymore. Go as her traveling on the road.
Yeah, that
Also-
would definitely be a heavy reboot there. And I mean,
Yeah.
they'd already corrupted Optimus in The Last Night when they made him into Nemesis Prime. So you wonder
Yeah.
if maybe that played into him being like twisted by Unicron as well.
Yeah. So okay, not going to go into that because that's a whole other episode when we eventually review that. They never explained why he did that, why he was twisted. He just went out in space, came back like, I'm evil now.
Well, it was like Quintessa reprogrammed him.
Don't get started on Quintessa.
Yeah.
You take a really cool concept for the original show and make it really small and anyways. Yeah, so
Still better than Alpha Q though.
Oh god. Oh, Alpha Q. That was the best name ever. So yeah, you have a lot of things going on. Obviously there's like the areas that this is going to take place. I'm assuming a lot of it's going to take place in South America. A lot of this is going to take place in New York also. I almost wonder if that whole big battle scene that you see at the end of the trailer is going to happen down in Peru or in Brazil or something like that. I mean, there's no telling at this point. It looks like it's going to be like a world traveling kind of movie. But
yeah, it's definitely got two settings, New York and Peru at least. It's got at least those two settings.
at the very least, so that we see at the beginning of the original trailer, Prime jumps up and pulls a gun on Primal. And that
Yeah.
can't be the beginning of the movie. It's got to be somewhere in the middle of it or a third of the way into it because we don't have to establish everything going on in New York to begin with.
Right.
So, we have, I think you have, sorry, Wheeljack or Pablo. What do you want to call him?
Wheeljack, yeah.
So yeah, Wheeljack, RC, Bumblebee, Mirage, and Prime. Oh, wait, Stratosphere. So those are your 6 Autobots.
Hmm.
When I hear about this, it's going to be a lot more robot heavy. There's going to be a lot more, I guess, personality. I don't know. They're gonna work on the personality of the Transformers a lot more. And I'm kind of hoping, Scourge has a lot of good lines in this. I don't know if Battletrap is going to really have much or Nightbird.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from those two, but at least Nightbird has a voice actress assigned to her. So yeah, I haven't seen anything about Battletrap yet though.
And they got some really good voice actors for the Maximals as well. So you have Michelle Yeoh, who Oscar-winning Michelle Yeoh, as Air Razor, and of course Ron Perlman, who he did Primal in the Power of the Primes.
Yeah,
show.
yeah. So this isn't his first time as Optimus Primal.
But I was reading a little interview with him though. He really wanted to go in like fully with this and really get his voice right for it. So he's treating it pretty seriously. And I hate it for Gary Chalk. Gary Chalk is always going to be my first Optimus Primal from Beast Wars.
Yeah,
but I like Ron Perlman. Has a different approach, which is I don't know, a lot more dire, which is fine. It works in this.
Yeah, I was really hoping to see Gary in it as well.
It'd be nice to have a little cameo.
Yeah, give him something.
Yeah, well, like when I moderated at Pensacon, I went down there And I was delighted to be able to moderate a panel that had David Kay, who was Beast Wars Megatron there.
Mm-hmm.
And people said, "Oh, are you really hoping maybe they can bring back, you as a voice of Megatron?" He goes, "Oh yeah, all day long. I'd love that, but you got to at the end of the day say like, who's get David Kay and compared to these other people? Like, okay, he's not wrong. It would have been nice to have him in the Kingdom series, but at the end of the day, they're going after big names. So yeah, the one in Kingdom was pretty rough.
Yeah,
So
I'd love to hear him do a Beast Wars Megatron before this whole like Unicron arc is done.
Yeah, definitely. So
that's what the director was saying, that this is going to be an arc. This is like just the first part to this whole Unicron story. So they're not like blowing it all for this movie.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you don't see Unicron in this, besides like flashback and exposition like we are talking about.
Right.
Don't be surprised if it's going to be a thing where the whole fight's going to be against Scourge, Battletrap, Nightbird, and I guess a million scorpion bug things.
Right.
And it's going to be. I foresee this as they finally beat them back. Maybe Scourge takes off. He's done, and he says, "Well, we want to wait the incoming Unicron." And Primal and Prime look at each other like, "Well, I guess we'll be here when it happens, or I guess we'll prepare." Something like that at the end of this. They go look at the heavens and know that Unicron's on the way. But man, I'll tell you, I could have I probably squealed like a schoolgirl whenever I saw Unicron in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something he's almost like a MacGuffin for end of times Transformers stories.
Right.
Because he was like, he was in the original 1986 movie. Orson Welles played him, which great voice actor for that role.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, from what I understand, he didn't know what was going on. He was just like, "All right, I'm a big planet. I eat everything." Yeah. Okay.
I'm the biggest toy, I think is what he said.
Yeah.
It's a movie about toys fighting, and I'm the biggest toy.
Yeah, essentially. And say what you will about that movie, I'd love it still. But yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, you could say that he's always the go-to for end of time stuff, and he is. But there's nothing wrong with that. It works really well. I think
he's literally the big bad.
He is. So I'm going to see if there's any notes I took here, but I think we've already kind of covered it. He is the big bad. He's it was eventually going to have to happen for the widescreen, the big screen. And so at least they're doing it over 3 movies, not trying to cram it all into one. So there's that.
Yeah.
Any kind of things you'd like to see in this?
Well, I'm just curious, like with the whole arc, like at this point, they don't have the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to work that in with this? Because, they didn't even have the Matrix until Revenge of the Fallen in the previous set of movies. So, like, how would they even defeat Unicron? Like, do they have a new MacGuffin? Are they going to have to find the Allspark Cube again? I mean,
maybe Earth is actually Primus. Who knows?
Right.
Well, you gotta also remember that was an alternate reality where it was Bay's universe. Maybe he has it. Maybe it's,
does he have it now? I'm curious how they're going to work that in.
Yeah, I mean the whole Allspark has kind of is overtaken the Matrix as the MacGuffin, or sometimes they're the same thing. So see how they handle that as well.
Yeah.
And having Noah as in a exosuit, maybe he's going to essentially be Daniel from the Rebirth, where he becomes someone's headmaster.
Right.
That was terrible, but still, I guess we'll eventually get that into the regular show, the Rebirth.
Oh, and David Soboleff is doing Rhinox, so he's
right.
Yeah, he's the only cast member from Beast Wars to carry over into this movie. He was depth charge.
That's right. Oh, that's gonna be great.
Yeah,
he's a great voice for that. See, wasn't he thinking? He was he Skyquake in Prime?
Yes.
Okay, he was. So he was also that, which is awesome voice also. So David Soboleff has been involved in the different shows for a while, which is good. So it's also it's a different cast from what usually happens. It's also not in a lot of ways. Of course, Peter Cullen is in there, so great there.
Right.
No idea if Bumblebee even talks yet. We'll find out.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone cast for that, but John DiMaggio is doing Stratosphere.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
so
man.
Bender.
If he sounds anything like Bender, I'll be pleased. More of that. more stratosphere on the screen, please. And the head looks like like an old. He looks like the pilot from the second Mummy movie that flew them into the desert and crashed and got consumed by the desert. What was his name?
I don't
blanking.
recall.
Yeah,
It's been a long time since I've watched those.
Yeah, he looks like the old British pilot who flies some of that. He looks great. He's got the big old bushy mustache and the goggles and stuff.
Oh yeah, he's got the old man face.
He's great. I'm pleased that they've come away from the bug faces that Bay had originally. And
yeah, the modeling on the faces is definitely more relatable.
Yeah, you don't need, in my opinion, you don't need a 1,000 different plates moving all the time of the face. Have Beast Wars really went into the having a face mask and a mouth, depending on what you're doing, and that's cool. If you want to give Prime a mouth and then give him a faceplate when he needs it, 100% okay with that. But yeah, I mean it's really nice to have that kind of aesthetic where you'd have and Mirage actually kind of still goes back to the older base style where there's a lot of like human features. They're like anthropomorphizing robots in a way,
right?
But also, once again, it kind of works with Pete Davidson's doing the character from what I've heard so far. And I didn't know how I'd like it, but the guy's the right age. He's probably really into this. He probably thinks it's really cool. So I expect him to do a really good job.
Yeah, and Mirage's face looks like it's really able to emote. They look like they've got the plate set up so he can do a full range of emotions.
Yeah, someone pointed out on one of the message boards I saw, if you look at his head, he's got like a headphones hanging back here over his ears. It kind of hangs down the back there. Looks kind of cool. He looks like he belongs on Long Island, like he's where Pete Davis is from. He looks like a punk kid on Long Island or something like that. So I'm 100%. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I think him being able to emote, considering he's kind of the character is kind of a punk, like he says, tracks and rail kind of thing. Maybe a little blaster in there. He's not like the original Mirage.
Oh no.
He was Mirage was kind of, I mean, like all the original voice actors, he was kind of laconic in his delivery.
Well, and Mirage was never really developed that much in any series. He's almost a blank slate.
except when the Cliffjumper wants to blame him for being a traitor constantly.
Right. And really most of that was on Cliffjumper. That was a Cliffjumper show, and Mirage just happened to be the target.
Yeah, it was. And then the Tickle Fest afterwards. So, oh man. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can put these pictures in the thing so you guys know what we're talking about. But if you don't, you can easily search on YouTube for the Rise of the Beast trailer. It's all over there. And personally, with I see kind of what you're looking for with this. With me, I want a nice bridge of I don't expect them to go back to the 1986 kind of motif, because we've had too much stuff at this point that people forget, and I think we're guilty of this sometimes too. We say we want this, we want that. We forget that you can't go back in time and unring the bell on Beast Wars. You can't unring the bell on the Bay movies. You can't unring the bell on the Cybertron trilogy. We're far beyond the 1986 movie, or far beyond that original toy line.
Yeah, Armada was 20 years ago.
Armada can now almost vote. So oh, actually no, Energon can vote. Anyways, so yeah, you gotta people who think the only thing about our fandom, and I say our fandom because you and I have known each other for, oh my god, 30 years now. No, not 20 something years, a little less than 30. God, maybe, I don't know. Anyways,
it was like 98, 99.
Yeah, okay, so we'll say not 25 years. In that time, over this fandom, we have seen things change so much, and where older fans are unable or unwilling to accept changes. So we have to understand that things are going to change. Either you adapt and you change with it, or you continue to live on your 1995
you stagnate.
You say on your Geocities message board.
We met like just a couple years after when this movie is set.
Oh God. Yeah. I always
We're
tell
old.
people. Yeah, we're old guys. I
We're
always tell
stratosphere.
yeah. We're gonna relate to stratosphere more than we are anyone else. The yeah, I always remember to tell people when they complain about, Beast Machines and stuff, I said, that was my first BotCon in '99. They showed the first episode of Beast Machines, and we weren't really sure of it then. There's been a lot that's happened since then. So
Oh yeah. It was cool to see it before everyone else.
it was cool to see it. It was very pretty, but
Yeah.
I still really don't like it. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. It looks really nice compared to Beast Wars. The animation was done well.
They had shadows.
Well, they had that in season 2 and season 3 of Beast Wars, but the shadows were much more pronounced.
Yeah.
We had to learn that no, we're not always going to like everything.
Right.
And I say this as like kind of everyone out there, you don't have to like everything. You're not ever going to like every single thing, but everything has its place. And everything has its.
Yeah, there's something for everybody in this franchise now.
That's the beautiful thing about the franchise. And I'm open to everyone having their own say and what they like and they don't like. So with this movie, I'm kind of hoping we have a nice blend of all that.
Mm-hmm.
Things we like, things we maybe weren't as familiar with, we didn't get into as much. So it kind of bridges that gap. That's kind of that was my long way around the block, kind of saying that was what I'm hoping for this. So
yeah, there's a little bit of something for everybody in it.
Yeah. You have a little bit of the things for the Bay movie people.
Mm-hmm.
You have a little bit of something for the original, like the G1 fans, like we originally were.
Mm-hmm.
You have something for the Beast Wars fans. You have something for the War for Cybertron fans, and you have something for the Cybertron trilogy fans.
Yeah, there's definitely Unicron trilogy stuff like peppered in there. You can see it already.
I think the writer and director, I can't think of his name right now. He definitely wants this to go well, and he's definitely trying because he's a fan. So
yeah,
I'm always a little wary when someone says I'm a fan first. Well, that's cool, but I want fan fiction. It sounds like they're trying to get this kind of nailed down to be inclusive and being like kind of a world-ending event kind of thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised though if we didn't get more references to Unicron trilogy as it builds in the art, because I mean that was really what that whole, especially Armada, was built towards. The threat of Unicron coming, and then it ended with Unicron finally arriving. So it'd be remiss if they didn't take some notes from that.
Yeah. And so yeah, actually, and once again, you talk about possibly having like the jungle planet, which is what you had in Cybertron with
right.
Well, I can't think of the character's name right now, but all the different characters.
Scourge.
Oh, true. Yeah, Scourge. Obviously, geez, what am I talking about? Man, there's so many characters that have been redone and reused in different names. There's
I know
different series now. I need like a one. I need to be like Charlie Day behind me with a poster. Like
I was just thinking of that with the red threads going everywhere.
I swear you need it. So yeah, that'd be good. And let you guys know in case you are wondering. I'm gonna kind of wrap this up here. In case you guys are wondering, Ed's fine. Like I said, he's dealing with something personal this week. I said we'll do a little episode, let him take a week off, get done what he needs to get done. So he's okay. We didn't kill him, we didn't off him this week. That's for another time.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So I asked Boo to come in here like kind of last minute, but I knew he would step up and help out. So
I got nothing else to do.
All right, so yeah, everyone, I'm gonna put a link to the Discord in there, and please check it out. I am also going to put again the link to the GoFundMe for Simon Lech, who owns the Sunbow archive, which if you were an original Transformers fan like we were, if you were a G.I. Joe fan, if you were a Jim and the Holograms fan, if you were a robotics fan, if you were a Inhumanoids fan, so many different shows came out during that time. So he has so many good resources. I want to see make sure he can, if you can help if you can, or just go visit the Sunbow archive. Meander around there, get some hits on that site.
Oh yeah, I'm on it daily.
Yeah,
I live there.
Yeah, you're helping pay his rent. The guy, I know the guy. He's out of work. He was having a lot of trouble with, during the lockdowns, where it was being really bad as far as working conditions. He had to leave for his own mental health, which I can appreciate that. So he'll appreciate anything you do. You just go to the Sunbow archive and spend an afternoon looking around the old scripts, things like that, which like I have done a lot, and I know Boo has done a lot.
Yeah, help him out.
Yeah, definitely. Also, guys, if you can go to your podcast platform, give a hopefully 5-star review. Say a little something, give a little review. Say, hey, guys, I hate your faces, or I love the show. I should listen every week. Whatever you want to do, cool with that. Giving good a review helps get the algorithm going, helps people find us. Same thing on YouTube, which this will be on YouTube. And God, I hope I can get pictures on this thing. So if I don't, please don't hate me. But I'm gonna do what I can.
I already do.
Yeah, I know you do. You know me long enough. So yeah, I'll give you give us a good thumbs up. Share it on your Facebook page. Say these guys are all right, or these guys are terrible. Go laugh at them. I don't care. Exposure. So all of that said, thanks guys for being here. Come join the Discord. Come talk to us. Tell me how much you hate my face, or you really like listening to us. I don't care. It's a Discord that's building every week. We associate with, by the way, the excellentunderground.net, which that's Boo's homepage. I've been going to that place. That's kind of my home as far as Transformers stuff.
Yeah, I'm the current webmaster before BZ gives me the axe.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, he
wait
will.
till it's all done. Then I was like, done.
I know it's coming.
So go visit the excellentunderground.net. There are good fan forums there. There's a Discord server at Excellent Underground. We're all kind of partners with all that. So come visit us. And until next time, everyone, I will see y'all next time. You
Have a good one.
Way out, Boo?
Oh, yeah. I can do a quote if you want.
Sure. I know you know the Lenny quotes. Go for it.
Anyway, I need the bread more than I need a set of wheels.
Where's that from? Dude.
Ready?
Yeah.
It's Raul talking to Trax.
Oh, yes. Make Trax.
And Trax replies, more than you need a friend?
More than you need a friend? Get under my hood and reattach that wire. I can't wait for those episodes. It's going to be so good. All right, y'all take it easy. See you next week.
Good night.